Hello, I'm Tsukamoto. I have been in the field of computer research for 20 years, and actually this is a 15th year wearing this kind of gadget. And I can see the screen of the computer, and I can see a watch on my glass, and I do have watches on my wrist, on this wrist as well. So this 14 years of my wearable life. This is a part of my research, and I've been researching this wearable computing for a long period of time. And at the beginning, I thought it would be quite trendy, and that was 14 years ago. But somehow, for the last 14 years, I have been quite isolated, and this is a big surprise to me. So this is wearable computing, wear plus able. So you can just put it on to yourself, and computing can be used. So that is wearable computing. So this is the next step from a mobile computing. I think mobile computing was once a trend. So that means that you can actually carry a small computer and you can use it wherever you are, like a smartphone. But more advanced one is much smaller, and they can be weared. So they can be attached to your body, and you can use them on a daily basis. That is a wearable computing. And 14 years ago, it was not as popular. But recently, wearable computing is getting attraction. One is an eyeglass type, like this, computing, and the other is a watch type computer. And also, there are other types of wearable computing. And this is now talked about a lot and can be a startup of a new industry. And some people are against it, but I believe that wearable computing is necessary. Here is a 50-year history of computing. So at the beginning, it was like a huge computer and filling up the space of one room. And it was used for military use, and it spent a lot of money. And then it's become smaller, can be put on a desktop, and it was used for enterprise use. So that means using a database or accounting software was used. So maybe it was kind of silly if you think about it, like in 10 years before. And the next step is a laptop personal computer. So this is for individual use, for emailing or for browsing, or maybe you can use it to prepare your presentation. But it still looks not big thing. And now mobile phones or smartphones are used everywhere, but maybe it was difficult to imagine if we were still in 10 years ago. But now we are using a line or other SNS for communication. And maybe it's not really flashy things, but it is now a necessary gadget for us. And next step will be wearable. So we will be using wearable computing for something we think it's quite silly or ridiculous. But this wearable computing will be a necessary thing. That is what I think. So computers have become smaller and smaller in size. But I think for the last 20 years, the advancement of computer was kind of wrong. And it gives us a kind of negative impact. Because with computers, we do not need to go out of our home. Maybe that because of the advancement of computers or smartphones. And then the metabolic syndrome happened, maybe, or the depression or suicide could have been surged because of that. All these shut-ins, because the computing, all these computers both have been advanced. Therefore, people can just stay at home, shun themselves, and they can just be stuck in the virtual space. And also smartphones. Well, you go out with smartphones and you use it in the real world, but that's worse because even in the real world, you are still reside in the computing virtual space, and your spirituality is just sucked up. So, for instance, okay, you are at a karaoke place with your friends, but you just keep using your smartphone. So it's isolated. So I don't think it's right. So you have to be with the real world. I think that is the real thing for human beings. And for that, you can wear computers and you can live in the real world. And I don't see many people today have wearable computers. But I hope everyone is going to use wearable computers. And this was when I started using wearable computing in 2001. Back then it was rather big, so I had a laptop PC and I had the wearable screen on my head. And below you can see somehow it looks like people were just away from me. They just stayed away from me, you know. So you can see this is the starting point when I started my isolate life for 14 years. And this is a scene of a lecture. And I have this wearable computing. And for the first 10 minutes, students just jittered. But they understand, oh, no, that is not a big thing. He just looking at glass to understand what time it is. So they just calmed down. And this is at a cafeteria. And this at the school or university, and you can see there is a somehow isolated atmosphere around me. But I was just created. I just created various applications that could be used at the cafeteria as a wearable computing. And you can see two photos on this screen, up and bottom. And people around me actually, ahead of me, just avoid catching eye with me. And below photo, you can see that someone is just looking at me. So people just passed me, and they just looked around and stared at me. So I just thought wearable computing is very important. But I think it might be interesting if you think about this showiness or standing out of wearable computing. So maybe I should take advantage of this showiness. So this is a fashion I decided to go for. So all the gadgets available at the laboratory were on my body. And you can see the camera on my head and the LED light. I think this was actually a mechanism to show message with the light. And this might be an impactful appearance with lots of gadgets, but it's not really fashionable. So I now see this is an advancement. I think I like this quite a lot. No? So wearable computing is also a part of your fashion coordination. So I colored my hair, I dyed my hair, and I have the colored contact lens, and I just trimmed my eyebrows. So this is where I am. So I tried to make it fashionable. And people around me just started interested in this wearable computing, and we did project together. This is a Suzuka 8 hours endurance road race. And we used these wearable computers. The manager of the team was seeing the various information with the wearable computer. This is a screenshot of what the manager was seeing at that time. So lots of information was available for the manager. And this is MC project. So you can see the scenario on your glass, and also you can see, okay, time is running up. And I don't see the time is running up sign yet on my eyeglass screen yet. But you will understand once you use it, it's very hard to use it very well. You need to get used to it. And this is a medical surgery project. Together with the doctors at medical faculty, we had this project, and the doctor used this wearable projection during the surgery. And somehow the resolution level was not good enough for the surgery as a surgery equipment, so we didn't do it. And sometimes they want to see what is on the floor close to their feet, so that is where he was seeing. And also the narcotics doctors would like to understand what kind of expression is on the patient. And this is a dentist project. I'm on the chair, I'm the patient, and I had cavities. So I pushed this project, and my dentist is actually my high school classmate. And he had a small camera, and he's showing my cavities, and that information is shared between the patient and the dentist. So it can be informed consent. And the diagram below is hard to see, but on my belly there is a button and joystick, and I can operate that menu, and you can just I can just pick up oh, it's painful, so I just push a button, then the pre-recorded voice will be played. And when the dentist asks, are you okay now? Yes, I'm okay. So there are menus, and I can just push the button, and then the pre-recorded voice will be replayed. And it was a fun treatment. And this is last year's marathon project at Osaka Marathon. And I saw the Twitter's tweets on my glasses, and actually I had cramps at 22 kilometers. It may not because of the gadget, I guess. And now the computers are getting smaller and smaller, so they are not really standing out. Therefore, I have so many watches on my wrist. What I want to emphasize is the importance of continuation. I have been doing this for last 14 years, and I explained so many different things. And for wearable computing, you really have to get used to it. And I've been saying this a prediction for the last 14 years. And once again, I'd like to declare it. So 1 year later, everybody is using wearable computing on the street. And I say this is prediction, but it's actually a request from me. And I'd like to make it happen for this time. So wearable computing is a new way to use computers, and I'd like to see more and more people getting involved in this wearable computing. Thank you very much.